I mean, football kept me out the streets, to be honest. Like, football kept me from gang banging and selling drugs. But football taught me so much about adversity, getting the hell knocked out of me, and having to get back up, playing against guys older, bigger than me, stronger than me, faster than me, and just constantly just grinding, just trying to prove that, one, I belong and I just hang with them.
It's the community of all of us just pulling together for the same thing. Just win, baby.
Say it one more time for the people in the back.
And I'm doing it my way. I'm doing it different. I'm doing it the way I see the Raiders going forward.
Raider Nation, what's going on? And welcome back to a brand new season of Talk of the Nation. My name is Sibley Scoles. Yes, I made my return. We are back here for another season, bringing you all the exclusives. It's gonna look a little different this season, but it's gonna look bigger, better, and everything silver and black. So with that being said, I'm bringing you someone very special. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Sitting next to me, let's get this. I'm gonna get all the accolades down in one take. Here we go. He's a former undrafted free agent turned Super Bowl champion, former intern, and he was Long Beach Poly High School's head coach, Arizona State's linebacker coach turned interim head coach. But currently sitting across from me, right next to me right now, is the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, Mr. Antonio Pierce. Did I get the accolades
That's
right?
pretty good. That's good. Nice, sweet, and short.
It was good? I know there's more.
No, I'm good. I'm good. That's good. The last one is the best one.
The last one,
let's
yes.
keep the last one. Good.
The last one is the best one. This is your first time sitting down with me for Raiders Talk of the Nation. It's been great to see everything, that since you've taken over, since you've been here and worked with us in this capacity. Has it been everything you thought a position like this would be?
No, it's been more. To be honest, it's you always picture a head coach and you go back to what we see on TV, what I'm used to, what I was coached by. But that's not me. Right. And I'm doing it my way. I'm doing it different. I'm doing it the vision, the way I see the Raiders going forward. And what I remember the Raiders when they were rolling, like I said, in the Coliseum and playing at a high level, getting the Super Bowls, always in the playoffs. And just to see the support, the way the building is, man, it's cool. It's really cool to come to work and everybody's kind of like, hey, what's up? And your head nodding, like, nobody said what's up before. Like, you don't want to be seen, but it's a good environment to be in. It's a good workplace. And I think we all are so badly we want to win. And we want this to be right consistently.
Right. I know I've asked you this question before too, just recently in training camp at the presser about growing up in Compton, the person that you are, the car that you drive, the way that you carry yourself, who you are. And I feel like I can understand that being from the Bay, I carry that with me. What does that mean and how does that even more come out in your personality, being there and knowing what this team means to you?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I got to be me. I don't know how to be anybody else. And from a linebacker coach to interim to head coach, I dress the same, I talk the same, I rock the same rides, I hang with the same people. More responsibilities, though. That part. But, I mean, everything that I envision and that I want and I see our team growing to be, and from our staff to our players to the personnel department, it's reflective on, be honest, my life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's that slowly grind, that process.
Right.
Everybody telling us what we're not going to be able to do, how bad we are, It's all that stuff. And it's just like, it's okay. It's just fuel the fire. I respect everybody's opinion, but that gives me a great opportunity to change that. And like I told our players, the best thing about this year going forward is we get to change the narrative each and every week. And that's what we're going to work on. We're going to be consistent with it. The message might change a little bit. It might, we might put a little bit more here, a little bit less there, but I mean, it's going to be a certain way. It's going to look a certain way. It's going to sound a certain way. And that's how we're going to approach it each and every day.
What have you learned most about you as a man, as a dad, as a coach? Just what have you learned so far in this position?
Patience and be a better listener. Because everybody wants you to talk, right? But there's a lot more times I've realized now, more people come to my office to speak. They want to get things off their chest. They got things they want to say. Instead of keeping it to themselves and now we're sitting here fixing a problem later, I can get ahead of it. So I've really become a better listener and be patient. Like, it's hard because I'm in the middle of doing something. I'm working, I'm grinding. Yeah, what's up? And they come in. Okay, what you got to say? I got 5 minutes, 5 turning to 15. Then it's another. God damn, the next thing you know, like, hold on, man. Like, I got to do work, but what's more important? If they walked, they might have either walked upstairs, downstairs, or down the hall to my office. It's important. Right, and I should take that time, regardless of how long it takes. But that's the position I'm in, and I think that's the one thing I've really, really, really worked on is being a better listener and becoming more patient.
Does that, do you realize the impact that you're having? I mean, again, I know you talk to the guys, but that is huge to have someone in a leadership role that you feel safe with going to and explaining how you feel about things.
I do sense it because I hear a lot of personal stuff that normally you don't really talk to a head coach about. You keep internal, or you talk to a player, or probably your position coach. But I think that goes back to when I first walked in the building. That's how I was with Max. You know, that's how I was with Devontae. You know, I was like that with all our players, and we just talked a lot about other things in football. Because I knew why we're here. We know why we're here. It's all those little sidebar conversations on the sideline, lunchroom, you know, walking to and from the buses, that you really get to know one another. And our whole off season, from OTAs, minicamp to training camp, only thing I wanted to build and what I wanted to build on with our team was that trust to the rest of our staff. I want our players to feel comfortable, man, to just be able to voice opinions. Now, take the personal side. I'm talking about football. Like when they don't like a call or they see something differently, like let's not wait until it becomes a problem. Let's get ahead of it. And if we could do that, I think we give ourselves a better chance not to have things just blow up in our face.
Is that helping you as a dad?
Oh, it is. Yeah, man. Patience too with the kids. Like it's boys are different.
Boys are different.
Girls are different. Way different. That's
We
another
are.
like, you know. Give you credit, but I'll tell you what, I love my girls.
You get it, yeah.
It's tough because, you know, when you look at your girls, you're just like, man, who they gonna be with? You know what I mean? Like, what kind of guy they gonna be with? I worry about that a lot.
Do
I'm
you?
Like, hell yeah.
How old are they?
24 and 19. 24 and 19. So it's kind of like, they're getting to that age now, they're getting a little bit serious. I'm like, hey, man, I don't know about that. Like, bring them over here real quick.
Yeah. Have you met any guys that they've dated or talked?
No, we got to.
And you're nice. Are you
cool.
coach or are you dad?
No, cool. Yeah, but we get real close to each other, though. We get real close. It ain't a lot of smiling. It's that serious looking.
Because you need to know what you're here for.
Yeah.
I get
we
it.
good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You sure?
We're on the same page. I need to know when they get in their serious relationship.
Yeah, no.
We're going to follow up with this. Can we go?
Years down the road, please. Years down the road.
When they're 40s. Their 40s.
Please. That's what I told them. Wait till I'm done.
You talk about your kids. Obviously, every generation's different, right? How we grew up. Talk to me about your love of football growing up, what that was like there, and the relationship you had to football and what it gave you.
Yeah, I mean, football kept me out the streets, to be honest. Like, football is what kept me from gang banging and selling drugs, and hanging out. Because that's what everybody I was with, that's what they did. And football also was a way for me to release like the anger and the frustration I had of not having what I wanted. You know, growing up in an apartment, not living in a house, you know, mom's grinding 24/7. Didn't grow up poor or anything like that. Just, you know, I was the only child, so I was spoiled. But there was a lot of things I wanted, you know, and I saw football as an avenue for a lot of things for me. Obviously, athleticism, you love doing that, going out there. But more importantly, being the only child, I didn't have brothers. So football gave me my group of brothers. You know what I mean?
Built-in,
brothers.
Yeah,
so it was like, man, it was cool. Like, they'll spend the night at my house and spend the night at their house. We get up for Pop Warner football. We go do our deal. And then that just constantly kept growing. But football taught me so much about adversity, you know, getting the hell knocked out of me and having to get back up, playing against guys older, bigger than me, stronger than me, faster than me, and just constantly just grinding, just, you know, trying to prove that, one, I belong and I can hang with them.
Yeah. What do you think it's given you today? Do you still look back at that kid?
Oh, that kid's right here. He's right in front of you. You just have to get a little bit older. This is a kid's game. That's why I always smile. Like, there's never a bad day as long as I'm doing football.
It's a good day when there's some football, right? You just go out there and have
always.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always smiling. People are like, hey, he's always happy. 'Cause I'm doing football, because when it's taken away from you, there's nothing else like a locker room. There's nothing like, I did television. I had fun, but it got boring. Putting makeup on and a tie, being AC, bright lights and all that. I wanted to be with the boys. I wanted to grind. I wanted to feel that fire in my stomach.
Yes.
And I wanted that anxiety. I want my heart to beat a little faster in the fourth quarter. I like that. I like that rush.
Yeah.
I like the excitement of taking on an Andy Reid or going up against a Patrick Mahomes and some of these great players. That's that competition and that desire to be he's the best. Let's line up, right? And that's what I missed. And when I got that opportunity to get back into coaching and made the decision to go full throttle, it was like, man, this is what I want to do.
This is where I'm supposed to be.
This is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah. Outside of yourself, and you said your mom, obviously working a lot. You guys, you were still good. She took care of you. I'm sure that bond is tight, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was tight that you had with her growing up. What did she teach you, and what did she implement into your life that you still carry with you now? And just what was that like to be able to wake up with her every day?
Be yourself, speak your mind, speak freely, and work your ass off. And if you want it, go get it. And my mom was a go-getter. Like I said, only child, and I wanted everything in the world, right? I wanted all the Nintendo games, all the the hot CDs and cassette tapes or whatever was coming out, the dopest music. And she grinded to make it happen.
Yeah.
I never wanted for anything. I always had a hot meal. I never ate cereal because it was a cold meal. My mom always had a hot meal on the damn kitchen table. So for me, like, it was just the grind, the grit. That's why as soon as I made it, I took care of Mom's, right? Got her house. You ain't working no more. And she wanted to get out the house. And she's like, boy, I can't be in this house by myself all day. But, just her work ethic, her love, I've never been loved like that by anybody in my life, right? There's nothing like a mother's love. So that's different.
That's got to feel good to know that, that's special. Not everyone gets that.
No,
Yeah.
That's tough.
What was her thoughts, football side?
She hated it. She didn't want me to play. I played baseball, soccer, track, every other sport but football. I didn't even play freshman football in high school. Yeah, she didn't want me to get hit. She didn't want baby boy to get any bruises. She didn't like that. Don't hit my baby. But I think she saw, as I would play in the streets and stuff like that in the park, she's like, man, I gotta let this boy go. And everybody was telling her, like, you know that Antonio play. And she loved it. Like, she always said as close as she could to the field in case something happened to me, so she'd be the first one to run out there. So she did it one time. I said, Mom, please don't ever run out there. So she said, well, then get your ass up off the ground. So my number one rule is I always tell my player, hey, get up. If you ain't, if the car come out, I get it. But if you can walk off that field, you get up. So that's really stuck with me. Just always make sure, like, regardless of what happens, I get up and I walk off because I'm always thinking, like, she's right there and she's gonna walk her ass on the field and be like, you okay, boy? You better get you. I'm up, Mom. I'm good. We're good.
So I said you're being your mom now.
Yeah, no, I went to my mom. I went to Mary Pierce right there.
Do you have a favorite song of yours? This is the fun stuff we do with the fans. They want to know.
Favorite song?
Favorite song, and if you know a line of it. I know you said your voice was a little hoarse.
Let's see. I'm a Tupac guy.
Okay, give it to
All eyes on me.
Oh, give me a line. Give me a bar.
Oh, you put me on the spot.
All eyes on. Okay.
All on me. All eyes on me. Just be like that.
Oh, you're gonna cheat me? That's what you're gonna give me the chorus?
Gotta give you the chorus.
Then give me the chorus.
Gotta give you the chorus.
We're feeling good so far with these
Oh, we're
questions.
good. We're rolling.
We're having a good time.
You done your homework. I see that.
I mean, I tried to.
Did your homework.
I tried to do it. Now that you say that, I'm gonna mess all up. Talk to us so far what you've seen, obviously, in these guys and just the family that this is. Elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it on hand at Costa Mesa. I knew we would get tighter. I didn't know what the nights would look like, right? Because I give them a lot of time off at nights so they can go to dinner, do things together. And I'll say the first week I was just shocked because I'm like, I go in the cafeteria or where we're eating at. I'm like, where's everybody at? Oh, they went to Mastro's, or they went over here, they went to this place, they went to Capitol Grill. I'm like, well, who went with them? Oh, they took the receiver group with, and the coaches went over here. I'm like, okay. And I was just consistent. And then all of a sudden, all right, they had enough eating out. Now they're eating in the calf. And then I'm just watching, 25 or so tables in there, and every table's full. But it's not just offense and offense. It's defensive players with coaches, offensive players with personnel, media with guys. Just seeing everybody intertwine and mix and just talk. I'm like, damn, okay. And then what you'll see when you get on bus, like, everybody's not just sitting with their BFF. They're starting to mingle with everybody else, and the that whole 17 or so days we was at Costa Mesa, you could just see the team really building and bonding and creating that brotherhood. And then more importantly, when they got in front of the media, and if anybody ever like popped off and talked about somebody, they were quick to snap. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, well, that's how they feel. And that's good because they're protecting one another. Like, you're not going to talk about these guys. You're not going to talk about us. So that was really, really, really good to see it. I think we're constantly growing. It's not a finished product. But I think the foundation is there, though. Foundation is there, like, because there's going to be tough times coming up over the next several months where people are going to try to poke holes into our armor. And we can't let that happen. Right? We can't let people from the outside create narratives for what we're doing each and every day. And we got to believe in one another. And again, it's not going to be pretty. It's not a finished product. And hopefully people understand that. But what we're building on is just like I told them, brick by brick, and we'll hopefully build something that's pretty badass here.
You said foundation. That's a big word. You got to build from the roots, the ground up. What you're building here, and you played. Mm-hmm. What have you seen in differences from when you were in that locker room as a player to now being a coach and seeing what you're building here with these guys?
Well, it's not as physical. You can't be, 2 a day. You only do 2 a days no more. You only got 11 padded practices. Then there's time constraints. But no, it's the biggest thing I think is the amount of knowledge and awareness they have of everything that's going on around them because of their phone and social media. So instantly they know things, even before the coaches. So if you don't get to them first or you're not ahead of the game, you're behind. So I think that's the key thing right now because they want to know the why. And you better have the answer because they're coming into meetings and they're going to ask why. And they're not afraid to speak up on it. And I think that's the biggest difference between today's athletes and when I played is you were just told what to do. And you just shut up and you became a foot soldier. But now they're like, okay, I'm going to do what you told me, but why?
Right.
And then they ask why again? Well, what if this? And then what if this? And they go like, oh. And they got follow-up questions because, again, they're way more educated than we were about everything that's going on currently. So that makes it a little difficult.
Who would you say you are as a player? If you could describe yourself as a player and then describe yourself as a coach.
Yeah. I was probably a little loose like Max. I did some stuff that would probably piss a lot of coaches off in practice and stuff like that. And then as a coach, probably Steve Spagnuolo.
Okay.
Yeah, like we're similar.
Solid.
There's a lot of things that, but I'm a mirror of a lot of coaches. And everybody knows, we got Marvin Lewis here, Coach Coughlin. Those guys have really had a big impact in my life. But between Steve Spagnuolo and my junior college coach, Lenny Rodriguez, they really molded me into the way I am and how I approach the game.
I imagine when I talk about your accolades and where you started from, it seems that you go from, which I appreciate because this is like the hustler I feel like in you and the person who just wants to, I got the chip on the shoulder, I'm gonna keep showing you what I can do. You go from being an undrafted free agent to winning a Super Bowl. You go from this type of coach to now head coach. You're going up every single time. Is that something that goes through your mind? Do you have that chip on your shoulder where you need to show something or show yourself? What is it that in your life, these repeated situations happen where you level up to that next?
No, it's been my whole life. It's how it always is. It's like 4 or 5 year cycles where I'll be right at the top and I'm peaking, and boom, something happens, right? Get grounded again. And maybe it's good for me because, football humbles you in a lot of things, right? And, when you get more successful and you make more money, sometimes you get full of yourself, and you got to get humbled and you get grounded. And that's happened to me. And this is one time where I'm like, okay, if you look, like, you had about 4 or 5 of these trends now. You got to maintain it. You got to be more consistent.
Yeah.
But it's really been that. But more important is, I listen to what people say about me, and it's like, God damn, how many times have I proved you wrong already?
Mm-hmm. That part.
And everything. I'm like, okay, but keep going. But it's not to prove anybody else. It's more of myself satisfaction. Because if I didn't want to be the head coach or I didn't want to get into coaching, I would never done it. I don't do anything I don't want to do.
I was going to say, it doesn't feel like you are forced to ever do anything.
I've had a good life. I've been around the game for 25 years. I've been fortunate. But like I said, more importantly, when I want to do something, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it my way because I don't want to ever look back and say, damn, but what if I should have, right? So like with this opportunity right here, you're going to get all of AP. And I tell people it's a hell of a ride. It's a roller coaster. Hopefully it's not a lot of downs though.
I love that. I love being able to open your mouth, say what you want to say, and not be worried.
But why not?
But that's what I'm saying.
I'm educated. I've done this.
No, but
I've been in the game
that
since 2001.
You're teaching me that right now too, sitting there, because it is nice to, even if you're not a football fan, to watch you speak is another level of a human being who is free and who really wants to do great things, not just for themselves, but for other people. So
Because we're always worried about what somebody else is going to say about us, right? And that's hard. We live in that world.
We're not worried
Am I
about it
perfect?
now.
Did I answer the right question? Am I ready? Yeah, you ready. That's why you're sitting here. You wouldn't be in this position if you wasn't ready.
Hello?
Same thing here.
I want to get into some more coaching. Obviously, this is not your first coaching position, but you are now head coach for a legendary, now celebrating 65 years here, the Raiders. What was it like through those journeys when you first started coaching? And did you feel that coaching was always a spot you should have been in?
Frustrating.
Really, in the very beginning?
Yeah, because I went back
Younger kids.
I went to high school.
Right.
I went like all the way back.
Yeah.
So you coming from the pros, just finished television, and I'm talking to a 13-year-old, and we're talking about like basic stuff. I'm like, you don't know this? Like, did you just play Pop 1 in football? Who's your coach? And then you're like, you didn't watch film last night? What are you doing? Like, not realizing like, no, not every kid has been to the level that I've been at that point, right? I think I first got into coaching when I was 35, 36 years old. And I'm like, damn, and I'm at Long Beach Poly with some of the best athletes. So I'm like, what is going on? You know, and I really had to dial myself back. And not that I lower my standard or my expectations, but I don't understand there's a whole new other generation of kids of how they play the game, how they look at the game, how much time they put into the game, the grit, the grind that goes into it. And now it's all trophy kids. And I mean that respectfully, but everybody gets a trophy.
Participation trophy.
Right?
You should
Hey, I play out. I'm supposed to be the starter. My
Right.
mama paid the fee. You're supposed to play. No, you're not good enough. You missed class. Your GPA's down. All that went into it. So it was really frustrating early on. But then again, it goes back to just like, okay, reset AP. And really I always go back to what I look like at 14, 15 years old. Probably wouldn't want to coach my damn self. Right?
You thought you knew everything,
Thought
right?
I knew everything. And that's what I was dealing with. Guys that thought they knew everything. Mom and dad thought they knew everything. And it's like, I've been at the highest level. And I'm trying to teach you these things and get you ahead of the game. So I think that's what made it frustrating, but I enjoyed the process because I was dealing with kids that were in high school that want to go to college. They just want to get their first offer. I got offered, and bing, the money bags, Twitter handles, and all that stuff go off. Like, man, crazy. And then to see, we put out 54 kids in 4 years at Poly, and 5 or 6 of them played in the league, and I got the biggest joy of that. When they signed that letter of intent, mom and dad are crying, they wearing the school colors. That was cool.
You still talk to some of them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All of them. Most all my
Nice.
guys, yeah.
When you got a coach like that, I'm sure you had an open relationship too.
Yeah, no,
Like,
yeah,
hey,
we
if
got
you
after
need
it.
me, let me, yeah.
We got after a little bit.
So jumping from that 13-year-olds in between and then linebacker coach for the Vegas Raiders, like that's jumping all the way
Yep.
before going to head coach. What did that look like for you in that locker room?
No, that was easy. That was just going back. That was like riding a bike again.
Yeah.
To be honest, especially at linebacker, that was easy. That's my bloodline. I majored in that one. I got a couple degrees in that one.
Yes.
I'm down there a doctorate. And I've been, I was fortunate because I played with a lot of good linebackers. LeVar Arrington, Jesse Armstead, Jeremiah Trotter, Carl Simmons. I was coached by a lot of good linebacker coaches. Greg Minutsky, Marvin Lewis was my D coordinator. Steve Spagnuolo was the D coordinator. Bill Sheridan, all those gentlemen really helped mold me in it. So I knew the game of linebacker. That was easy. I could do that in my sleep. But it was cool to be here because first year, Denzel Perriman, love the personality. That's my dude, DP. And then Diablo, right? He was transitioning.
Yes.
And that was a big project for me because he, safety, only played in about a handful of games his rookie year. And now, like, hey, you the full-time starter. AP, you got him. And this dude's still talking about backpedaling. Like, man, we go downhill. We go forward, not backwards. And just teaching them how to move like a linebacker, see like a linebacker, talk like a linebacker, act like a linebacker. Just changing the whole person and molding him into what we see now with Diablo, which I think he's, knock on wood, going to have a breakout year for us.
Just as a life experience, if you could say where you're at right now, who is AP?
AP's at peace. That's where he's at. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm excited about the future more than anything. I'm ready to prove a lot of people wrong with our team and this organization. And I think more than I'm happy, man. I literally walk in the building happy every day. And I be having 1,000 things going on off the field. But when I walk in the buildings, like I told her, I get zapped the other way. Most times, before we was getting zapped in a negative way. Now we're getting zapped. It's positive. I'm attacking the day each and every day. Okay, how can we do this? How can I get better? How can I help our team get better? How can I put our players in a better position? What can I do differently? And if you've noticed anything with our schedule, it's constant change.
Oh yeah.
I like change. I don't like being comfortable. I like being uncomfortable. I like being uneasy. I like being on the edge because that keeps me going. It keeps me motivated. I'm always thinking, all right, what's next? Because I'm always figuring out there's somebody there that's just trying to get us. That's trying to get me. That's trying to figure out a way to, how do we beat the Raiders? Well, hell no, we're not. We're doing the opposite.
Right.
How can we dominate? How can we dictate? How can we be the ones that you're worried about, that you're having sleepless nights about? What the hell's AP think? What this dude gonna do? I don't know. And that's what I like people think. I don't know what this dude's gonna do. And that's a great feeling. I love it. I live in that life.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen over here. Last thing I want to do, I want to hear from you, and we cannot incriminate anyone, so no names, okay?
No name dropping.
Do you have a quick story that you remember off top that just made you laugh, had a great time with another fellow player or a coach, or just your time in the league, or even now here?
Oh yeah. No
names. Go ahead.
Names. No, I'll go back to my years of playing in Washington. I'll just go there, and we had a really good defense. We played, we didn't score a lot of points, but there's one year, my fourth year in the league, we had a really good defense, and we would lose games like 6-10, 12-9, and I'll be honest, we would go out after the games and we would literally, have a couple drinks and be celebrating. I don't know why, but we had like a little theme. We were like, we may lose, but we go hard. We may lose, but we go hard. And it was a damn mistake. We had our tank tops on. We took our shirts off, tank tops on, and we just 5 or 6 of us kind of like danced on the sofa.
At the bar,
Yeah. It was like karaoke without karaoke back then, but it was a damn mistake because in our mind, we're like, man, we're going hard as hell, but we're losing. So that's what our theme was like. We may lose, but we're going to go hard. So that was.
And it was a fun time.
There was some prominent names there, and I won't drop names, but just look at the 2004 Washington Commanders defense.
And there you go, without saying names.
Bingo.
We got it. We'll check that picture out when we get out of here. This year, your full first year as head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders. You get to go in there, hit the ground running like you have been even building up to this point. What are your plans? What do you see? What is the execution style? What's going to be happening for you this season and your approach to getting into this?
Yeah, I mean, the DNA is what it is, right? I mean, ill intent, violence, physical, pain. I mean, that's our mindset. That's our DNA. Our culture is, team first, pride, passion, competing at a high level. Like I said, what I want us to look like each and every week, win, lose, or draw, look right, sound right, full-blown effort, Max Crosby effort across the board. Like, that has to be us. Because there's going to be, we're going to go into games where, that guy might be better than us, or that guy, they got something going on a little bit, they're doing well this week that we got to worry about. It becomes an issue. That's just the National Football League. But as long as we can approach it with the, effort mentality, I don't care. I'm going to give you everything I got. You might whoop my ass. You might lose a game, but you're going to walk out, you're going to limp out this goddamn game, right? You're going to limp out this game.
Yes.
And if we can get into that mode and just playing that style of football, and as we keep growing and get better in our execution, I want to make sure, it's always disappointing when you see the flags on the field and turnovers. We really want to stay away from that. We want to be efficient. We want to play a game where it fits our style. We want to be explosive. You've seen that already in the preseason with some players that have really stepped up for us. And Trey Tucker and DJ Turner have done an outstanding job. But just that, I'm going to go back to when I was a kid, I remember watching with the Raiders, what it looked like. That intimidation style and guys, blowing the top off the defense because they could just run by you and make plays, be explosive.
Yeah, we're bringing the black hole onto the field.
Yeah, no, we're kicking off that way all the time. Yes. We're going to celebrate with those guys.
Always.
We embrace that in here. I told them, hey guys, make sure when you go out, you dap those guys up in the black hole because they're going to be there after AP, after our players leave here. That group ain't changing, right? That's Raiders. Yeah. So we got to embrace that, and that's a part of it. And they embrace us, man, because when they're rocking and rolling, they get the rest of the stadium going. That's real. That's real.
That's real. And they are family, too.
Yeah.
That's family. Last thing, the shoes this season. Are we changing them up? Are we going to the black Air Forces?
Always, but not every game.
And what is your name when you put on the black Air Forces? Because it can't be Antonio Pierce. You got to give me a name.
Nah. That one stayed. It's like when you wear the black shoes. You know what time it is.
That's what I'm saying. It's like Batman when he's like,
Just know when all black come out, you know what time it is.
We know what time it
And
is.
then you
That's
see
it.
that little walk. I got that jumpsuit on. That's all. We're good.
We got to get out of here. If you want to look in the camera, say anything to Raider Nation for this season.
Yep. Raider Nation, your support, your love, your passion, we feel it. We need it. Wherever we go, we expect you to be there. We'll be there. And as always, you show up, we'll show out.
Raider Nation, thank you so much for tuning in. Sitting here with Coach Antonio Pierce. Thank you. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
Let's get it done.
Come on.
Talk of the Nation. We'll see you next episode.